There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Singing like Ali, rocking our bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
Siguro kaya kami natalo sa Naga kasi parang na-outpick kami and yung parang overall team practice namin is parang onting oras lang. Mas nag-focus kami masyado sa solo play. So siguro next week, mas madami yung gagawin namin practice as a team para bumalik yung synergy namin. About sa TNC naman, siguro kung nakadepende naman siguro ako sa practice namin kung if maganda yung outcome ng practice namin, siguro maganda ipapakita namin sa TNC. Pero gagawin pa rin namin yung best namin para talunin sila.
Natin. Papakilala mo na kami bilang casters niyo for this game. I'm Arctic at Sir Sam. At syempre, kasama ko ngayon, walang iba kundi si Vulcan.
Thank you for that. And we're going to be moving on to our match 2. So, moving on from match 1, we did experience a lot of technical difficulties and we really apologize to the summoners out there. So sorry for that.
And speaking of technical difficulties, I'm glad that you brought that up kasi we just want to talk about one of those a little bit of an awkward instance some of the summoners might have noticed during the game earlier na parang nagkaroon ng awkward movements si Ardai and people might have been wondering what happened there. So that was actually a result of an unfortunate disconnect that happened during the game. But of course, after reviewing that instance, even with that happening, it didn't necessarily impact the overall, yung pwedeng maging overall result ng game na yun because Team Analigos was already pretty much in a position that already heavily favored their chances of winning. So
it's very unfortunate to see difficulties like that.
Yeah.
It affects not just the players but also to the viewers who are really rooting for the favorite teams, and we really apologize for that. And I just love how when it comes to difficulties like that, these are professionals we're dealing with. They're pro players, they're very mature, and I love how they are quick to readjust themselves and still focus on what matters. But checking out the standings to what happened over our match 1, guys, note that Team and Eagles, the defending champions, got a 2-0, which means 3 points.
yes, and it's quite refreshing na makita yun. Medyo, gaya nga ng sinasabi ko, paborito kong bot lane si Marky tsaka si Rox. And a few weeks back, nasa bottom na sila. Like, people were wondering, could this potentially be the downfall of Eagles? Pero gaya nga na nakikita natin, just as an Eagle source, yan rin ang nangyari sa standing ng Team Eagles as they're currently sitting at second place, actually ousting TNC Pro Team from their spot. It's a little bit of a fall. Unfortunately, TNC did have that unfortunate defeat against Mineski going 0-2 last week. Pero since sumegway na ako sa usapan na yon, pag-usapan na natin yung match for today, Vulcan. Kasi both teams, TNC and Imperium Pro Team, ito yung mga teams na nakaupo sa top ng standing from these past few weeks. But interesting enough, going up against Mineski and Naga Esports respectively, both have suffered unfortunate 0-2 sa laban nila nung week 5. So, I guess the name of the game here is both teams parehong gutom na they're hungry for redeeming themselves going into this current week. And of course, interesting enough, since parehong team ang nagsuffer ng 0-2, one of these teams, unfortunately, isn't going to come off the better team in the standings.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you on that when it comes to the standings because we did see for TNC, they did not have a good performance last week because they were facing one of the best teams in the PGS as of now, ranked number 1. Mineski, and I think what they've learned there was they still have some things to work on, and I just love how for TNC they are still considered one of the best, but not the best just yet. They still have to prove themselves to the viewers out there and to the other players in the PGS as of now. But we did check out the standings. Team and Eagles went up to the second rank, but note that in this match, it would be TNC versus Imperium Pro Team. So if ever TNC gets another 2-0, or let's say gets one more point or have a good performance, they can immediately reclaim their second spot. But for Imperium Pro Team, I'm thinking that they still want to redeem themselves too, because you did hear Hate, what he said in the interview. We need to focus, we need to practice, stop thinking, stop playing, or stop focusing on the solo queue area, and focus on how you can focus as a team.
And that was such an unfortunate defeat na nakita natin sa IPT last week. Kumbaga, even before the match, pinag-uusapan namin ni... I can't recall if it was Chisto I was with or you na...
You don't even remember me.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, man. But, kumbaga, ito yung pinag-uusapan namin na IPT, they were so consistent these past few weeks. And then all of a sudden, they had that really awkward week against Naga Esports. Kumbaga, probably a one... If it really wasn't their week, a 1-2 was kind of expected. Pero the fact that they went 0-2, that was such a blow to them. And it all comes back to the point now, we've seen IPT na they have been consistent, but they do have these awkward moments that just when it really counts, they suddenly fumble with the ball and it costs them dearly. So hopefully, luckily, nasa punto naman sila na they can afford a few defeats since medyo comfortable na sila as far as qualifying for the playoffs. It's just that hopefully we don't see those type of slip-ups, lalo na in moments when it matters, when we do head into the playoffs in a few weeks' time.
It's going to be next week, will be the last week of our group stages. So when it comes to this week, the 6th week, you do not want to have, let's say, any more fumbles. You did see in the matchup rundown for the players who will be playing right now for our first game in the second match. So viewers out there, whoever you're rooting for, especially TNC, they were actually hyped a lot. And I think it just goes to show that, yes, they do deserve some attention for their performances. And not to mention, I love how TNC as the pro team itself, they've matured in a way. And not just that, the mentality when they're entering a game, that is something that I really, really love about TNC. But for Imperium Pro Team, these are veterans. These are people in the PGS who know all about pressure, who know about preparation and a mentality entering an important match like right now. This is game on match 2 of Imperium Pro Team versus TNC Pro Team.
Yes, so there we go. Both may pro team. Ngayon ko lang napagtanto na parang may pro team sa dulo. But beyond that, looking at the bans right now, before we touch on what picks have been fielded so far, interesting enough, ito yung medyo tricky part when you're going up against TNC Pro Team na sila yung nag-demonstrate na kahit may mga champions silang gagamitin na hindi masyadong within the meta or to the point of being unconventional, napapagana nila. So going into the banning phase, andun yung consideration na hindi lang yung mga potential meta champs yung ibaban natin sa TNC. Andun din yung factor na ano ba yung mga pocket pick nila na kailangan natin i-take out. And that's an advantage for TNC Pro Team. Kasi dahil dyan sa may mix ng meta champs and pocket picks na kailangan i-ban out sa kanila, they're left in this position na they have a lot more options to work with.
And look at for Imperium Pro Team side, they will be picking up the Sejuani and Sion and Caitlyn. Sion right now has been rising up the popularity in terms of solo queue top lane because of the fact that when you run the Arcane Comet on Sion, the harass is just ridiculous. But looking at TNC's side, this could potentially be, yes, it will be a top lane Camille. So for Imperium Pro Team, Suzaku on this side, I'm pretty sure for Icarus he will have a lot of things to work with here.
I like the Jarvan pick overall, even with the Sion fielded, because the Cataclysm, they could kind of work with that kapag nagkaroon ng Unstoppable Force entrance.
Not just that, the Hextech Ultimatum itself too.
Exactly. Oh, ano, actually two
lockdown
two ultimates to work
ultimates.
with. Good point right there. And overall though, kasi I like that you brought that up, yung rise ni Sion as of recent. And ang gandang demonstration ng pinakita ni AX Jodoy nung day 1 natin. So, tingnan natin kung makakita ba tayo ng same feat from Imperium Pro Team. But looking at the second rotation of picks right here. So, interesting enough, mukhang makita tayo ulit ng Echo. It's been quite a bit of a while since we've seen him.
Takes me back a lot because we rarely see An Echo in the mid lane. So this will be a treat for all of us here right now who are watching on Facebook or YouTube. Whoever you're rooting for, let us know down in the comments down below. But for Imperium Pro Team, this will be their final draft. I just love how they're really focused on, straightforward engages with hard CC to back it up. But for TNC, they don't want to be the ones to chase down the enemies. They want to lock them down. Jarvan, Camille, and not to mention, if things go really bad, especially seeing a Sejuani and Cyan, they have the Janna.
Indeed. And of course, yun na nga po mga kaibigan, naka-lock in yung parehong composition ng Imperial Pro Team tsaka TNC Pro Team. Let us know kung saan man kayo manonood. Whether sa Facebook Live ba, via the Garena Pro Gaming Series official page, or sa YouTube Gaming, sa gaming.youtube.com/pagegarena/live, kung sino ang sinusuportahan nyo sa dalawang team natin for the final match of the week for week 6. Hashtag IPT win ba o hashtag TNC win. Keep the chat coming along, and looks like we'll find out in just a bit who will win this match as we head on to the ref.
This is going to be game 1 of match 2. Imperium Pro Team on the blue side versus TNC Pro Team on the red side.
Man, I love that entry from Light and Haze. But ladies and gents, ito na nga ang match 2, game 1 for the conclusion of week 6 right here. Once again, it's Imperium Pro Team, hashtag all hail, versus TNC Pro Team, truly rising like the phoenix that they are as of this recent split.
Hashtag resurgence for TNC. And I love how when it comes to the transition, hashtag aesthetic pro players.
Actually, now that you bring it up.
Aesthetically pleasing pro players. I just love how right now when it comes to the players entering this matchup, they're really prepared. We can see it in their eyes, and not to mention in their drafts.
Speaking of, medyo na gugustuhan ko yung how both teams are playing this out so far. But by the way, may Thrill of the Hunt promo tayo, diba? So we actually didn't have enough time to flash one of the other links. So ayan na nga po mga kaibigan. Surprise, surprise! Triple kill code right
yung
there.
kay Marky naman pala. And we also did see Marky get that quadra, but that we were able to show the quadra.
Yes.
But sadly, the triple was missed. So to the viewers out there who did miss or who was really loyally watching the stream and like, bigla, bakit walang promo? Nag-triple kill si Marky. Here it is, guys.
Yes, we got you back, fam. But overall, gaya nga na sinasabi mo, you brought up these picks coming in from both sides. I like the flexibility coming in from both Imperium Pro Team tsaka itong TNC Pro Team. Pero talaga may Pro Team, I can't get over that. But yeah, interesting enough, we're seeing Echo once again, and we're seeing the rise of Cyan being utilized in Imperium Pro Team. Meanwhile, para naman dito sa TNC, a little bit more standard, I'd say, but I'm interested in seeing how Haze is going to be performing on this Thalia.
I'm really curious to see how Light can perform on this Echo, because when it comes to trading with this Thalia, Light has a lot of things to time properly. He has to land the Q, the time rewinder, to really make use of that passive, because if he can't even land his Q properly, yeah, he'll just be pushed away just like that.
And what I like about TNC's composition is they have a lot of tools to turn the tides of teamfights into their favor. Gaya nga nang mention mo, may dalawang cold ultimates tayo in a way to prevent Suzaku from maximizing the sign in the form of the Hextech Ultimatum ni Icaros, tsaka yung Cataclysm naman para kay Burst. And
yikes.
Ooh, look at that damage, man. But aside from that, you also have the Weaver's Wall coming in from Haze. So there's so many elements that TNC can work with here. I think it all comes down to how they execute this.
But I think when it comes to execution for TNC, they have the preparation mentality, as we said. But when it comes to the side, I don't think they should really focus on the Suzaku. It's more on, we want to wait. We have to see, can Haze influence the silence? But right now we're seeing Burst just buntik na siya, because he was right there in the Raptor side to immediately respond to Haze's trouble. And that's going to be a disengage from both teams. But looking back to the top lane, you saw how Suzaku he's able to really push back Icaros's Camille, and this is gonna keep happening over and over.
Oh, meanwhile,
don't take my Raptors.
Yes.
Save the Raptors. He needs that to scale. And when it comes to split pushing and really pushing the lanes hard, Suzaku, was this Cyan a great pick?
Save the Raptors. That kind of sounds like an initiative almost.
Kasi yung sa laro ng PGS, the small Raptors are always the one being contested. In the mid lane, we did see that on day one to really, slow down the junglers. Yan ang gusto ko.
Meanwhile, mukhang medyo mababa ng mana ni Icarus dito. So, has to be a bit more careful. Nakikita nga natin yung sakit ni Suzaku running this Sion right now. Will be making a recall though. Has to refill back up on that corrupting potion.
And he's actually not running the Arcane Command. He's running the Glacial Augment. So that's not going to be the same harass we did see from Dodoy on AX side from day one. We'll be seeing the Augment being played by Suzaku.
See how that goes for him though.
Very curious, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Nice demonstration right there. But then again, so far sa nakikita naman natin, I think Icarus has been holding this own. Medyo nasa punto tayo na whatever attempts na kayang gawin ng jungler, sure. But, haze!
Yan ang gusto ko kay Echo, yung high risk, high reward. That's how you play that champion. You go in, face dive in with a time rewinder, and you pop that electrocute, you will have a good time. But it's actually sad that Light is not riding the Ignite. He would have had kill pressure. But Ignite, no, you want to be all over the map, and Light, a veteran pro player, he will pick up his own work. He visions it towards the later part of the game. What's more important?
Kanina pa nagkakaroon ng cheeky movement kay Ivalice at kay Burst as far as going for potential invades, spawning out each other. So, just goes to show how both sides, they're trying to look for yung windows of opportunity to deny each other as far as these first few minutes. Pero sa nakikita nga natin so far, wala pa masyadong nagta-translate into actual potential kills. So, okay, maybe right now.
They're really signaling, Burst. You may go for the gank here, but knowing that is a Lulu and a Caitlyn, medyo mahirap sila eh. So I don't think for Imperium Pro teams, bot lane, they're afraid to try and challenge the gank from TNC with the Jarvan.
Yes, andun nga naman kasi yung safety ng running a Caitlyn.
Sakit talaga si Suzu.
Yeah, he's just painful. But yeah, I think overall, with that point that you brought up, medyo safe yung makikita natin na galing dito kay H or kay Shadow since they are running the Caitlyn and Nunu bot lane. Man, Icarus, he just has to dodge constantly around whatever Suzaku throws.
Pagka na-stress siya dahil kay Sion kasi when you're running the Augment, it's kinda easy. It's really easy to land your Q because you made that slow. So for Suzaku, it's really easy for him to set up his Q. But knowing this, it won't last that long because when it comes to trading off right now with the ultimate, and we're seeing a response from Burst. Can he escape? I don't think so. The unstoppable force gets blocked by Burst. He did burn his flash, but Suzaku still survived everything. Light goes in with the face that does not take down. Icarus. Very close call. Looks like Light will recall time. He does get the health back. No casualties in the top lane.
Yes, kahit explosive yung fight na yan, nakita tayo ng ang gandang response galing kay Light at kay Haze. Hindi pa rin siya to translate into first blood.
That's risky because we're seeing Burst already smiting the big Kruggy, and we're seeing now si Ivalice is looking at the red buff. Walang siyang smite, pero si Ivalice may smite siya. So, he steals away the red buff.
Just gonna take that away. Pero you also have to take note na andun tayo sa punto na Burst does have that level advantage kung ikukumpara mo dito kay Ivalice, 5-4.
Sobrang sayang dun sa top lane si like when it comes to just the face type, but at least he had the chrono break para magtangkas siya.
Looking at the bottom here, patuloy pa rin napupush ni H at ni Shadow. Itong si Demon at si Orthros, medyo nalimitahan sila sa kung anong waves ang mapunta sa na, just gonna farm that. But then again, nasa nature yun ng playstyle in a way na di mo na, gaya nga ng sinasabi ko ng paulit-ulit, is kind of like the sleeping giant for TNC Pro Team na medyo chill lang siya sa earlier phases, but once he really gets things going, things get really good.
You know what keeps going right now? Yung sa bot lane, ang bilis yung push.
Yeah.
Look at the turret. So low on health, and the first turret's at stake here. And Hate is really trying to pressure the bot lane because I think everyone here who was watching the PGS when it was Kineski's in TNC's game, they really observed how slow, in a way, TNC's bot lane really scales.
Yeah.
They really focus onto the late game, really farming it out and just scaling.
Actually, yun yung nagustuhan ko sa Mineski, yung nabasa nila how TNC functions. as far as utilizing Demon. And by putting so much pressure on Demon earlier on, di siya nabibigyan ng oportunidad na makapag-safe transition into the later parts of the game and just pop off. Talagang andun pa rin yung complications. And I think so far, what IPT is doing in the bot lane, just trying to force out that wave constantly with Demon and Orthros, forced to farm under turret. Pero sa nakikita ko, they've definitely been holding out. I mean, CS differences is not as massive, just a wave of a difference between Hate and Demon.
It's not just for Minutes. Yes, they're actually one of the best PGS players right now for rank 1. But also for IPT naman kasi tagal sila sa PGS. They know what works and what doesn't. And when they're facing off against TNC, of course, they would get the read on the bot lane because this is a team that existed or started PGS in their run, and they were staying. And for a reason, because they are capable of quickly adapt.
Yes, meanwhile, looking here at the bot lane, kanina pa medyo naglilinger tong si Burst tsaka si Ivalis, naghanap ng oportunidad na makapag-gank dito sa bot lane at medyo nabubuksan na nga yung window of opportunity yun. Kung mapapansin nyo yung health ng turret ng TNC Pro Team sa bot lane, medyo malapit-lapit nang bumagsak kaya medyo...
First turret?
Yeah,
That's first turret. I think for Hate, he may get the solo gold. And if he does get this, that's worth 2 kills. And he doesn't care. He wants to get the first turret, and this will be risky. But meanwhile, Hayes, eyeing the top lane, he may go for a side lane pressure. And a bit too short. He does knock up. He does knock up Suzaku. Kaso yung wall, hindi abot sa explosion.
Yes, that will be the unstoppable onslaught out of there para dun kay Suzaku. And man, that was... Again, it's somewhat interesting kasi nakakita tayo ng attempts coming in from both teams.
Oh, what's
pero
this?
wala pa rin casualty. But this will signal Imperium Pro Team with first turret, with much more control over the bot lane. Gonna go for first dragon of the game na rin.
This is what you do. You shove that lane as hard as you can. Pressure at the bot lane. Don't let them have that safety in the late game. But what's this? Imperium Pro Team, they step to back from the Ocean Drake. It's risky here. That's low on health. Will they go for a steal? 4 members already spotted. So they cannot contest. This will be TNC taking away the efforts of IPT with the Ocean Drake.
Yes, Imperium Pro Team, respetuhin nila yung numbers ng TNC sa pag-siege ng Dragon. Pero overall, I mean, IPT, it's a little bit of a something that they can afford. Anyways, nakuha naman nila yung first turret of the game and it does set Demon a little bit back. So, medyo interested ako sa magiging wave management ni Suzaku dito sa bot lane though. Pero sa nakikita ko, it's not something that TNC will take advantage of because one of my worries here is that you were able to push bot lane pero will that be a window of opportunity na mabigyan ng farm si Demon because of the constant shoves that will come in from the waves? But looks like responde naman yung TNC, yung bot lane ng TNC by going for the lane swap to match Hate and Shadow.
Oh, and judging by how he played his lane in the bot lane, I don't think this top lane is going to last in favor for si Demon kasi looking at how he is pushing this heavily and looking how low the turret is too. This is on a timer, and see Suzaku, he loves the split push, he loves the silence, he will keep pressuring, and what happens here? It narrows down the area where Demon can safely farm. And again, we're now seeing IPT on the red side of TNC. Will they meet?
Yeah, a lot of activity coming in from both sides here. TNC, they are on the prowl, but I like how both sides, like, there's not really as much of a dull moment. We've been seeing a lot of activity, whether it be in terms of looking for opportunities. Pagdating rin sa vision, both teams have been on top of that. So, alam mo yun, both sides, they're kind of at a point where they're trying to cover every single aspect para hindi sila magkaroon ng eventual stake that either IPT and TNC can capitalize on against the latter.
And when it comes to Imperium Pro Team, after that last week hiccup with Nanga Esports giving them the 2 points, they're composed now. They mean business. They are really pressuring TNC as of now, going into this game with the aggressive mentality. The Prison won't connect, but I think Burst will engage onto this. Joining in would be Hayes with his Talia. No, Ivalis gets the ult. He will not survive that long, and Kuros goes in for the flag. First blood secured by Hayes.
Yes, indeed.
Hindi
Looks-
pa tapos to, si Sudoku, he goes in with the unstoppable onslaught, does not knock up anyone, times the Q, Hayes does flash away, he survives for now, but meanwhile Light, he is pressuring Icarus, trying to zone him out, and first re-engages the fight, he knows this, he can, there's the Monsoon for the heal, but Light goes in with the convergence for that two-man stun, focusing there, he goes back with the Chrono Break, it'll be Imperium Pro Team backing off.
Yautza, that was massive for TNC Pro Team. At sa nakikita natin, 0-4-4 pabor sa kanila. And that was amazing. And yun yung sinasabi ko na with TNC's composition, they have a lot to work with to swing the tides of these team fights in their favor. So, positive for IPT, of course, is nakuha naman nila yung additional turret. But at the cost of what? 4 casualties, not to mention TNC, makapag-trade na rin sila ng turret. And looks like, on top of that, cherry on top, Rift Herald for the taking.
Yes, the Rift Herald will be taken away with a Sherry on top there. And when it came towards Imperium Pro Team, they really tried to pressure, but they're not respecting the lockdown that TNC has.
Yes.
Austin connects onto Icarus. He does get bursted down by Light. That's one member down, but the members of Imperium Pro Team, 2 members actually, are kind of low. And it's going to be a fight for survival for Hayes. He is tucked to a corner and forced to give Light another lead.
Yes, medyo unfortunate dito kay Hayes na down ang kanyang flash, but overall, small price to pay to have been able to secure that buff right there. Overall though, let's go ahead and check out this replay because it was quite a prolonged fight. So Initiate coming in from burst, and nakita na natin yung bilis ng responde dito ng TNC Pro Team. Ivolis being the clear target that was efficient at taking, TNC immediately focuses him. So si Light, nagkaroon ng attempt dito na masalvage yung fight. Unfortunately, Suzaku not able to unlock unstoppable onslaught onto Hayes kasi yun nga, stasis was up for him, stopwatch, league of stopwatch ika nga nila. And overall, was just a massive turnaround here. A lot of tools were used by IPT to try to turn this fight back into their favor, but at the same time, TNC just had a lot more ammo to work with by the time we reached this extended part of the fight. So very well played by TNC, but does this necessarily set back IPT by a large margin? Hindi naman necessarily. Still a lot of room for both sides to turn the tide in their favor.
But for TNC, they will quickly try and remedy the deficit they had in early phase of the game. Onslaught incoming! Does not knock up anyone, but does have the burst damage. Now Suzaku at a very, very awkward spot here. Low on health. Demon is chunking him down with his Mystic Shot. There's the Weaver's Wall to cut things off there, but Light has the Chrono Break.
Medyo nasa start ko ng okay, I'll
Hook shot in, he does flash away. Tactical sweep will not slow anyone here. We're seeing Light backing off for a while. Same as Suzaku, medyo low siya. But for TNC, we're not backing off. We have the Janna, we have the Monsoon. They're healing things up right here in the mid lane. And for Icarus, he's really scaring away Light. He does not want him to flank the lines.
Ang medyo nasa start ko nang ma-appreciate tong Ezreal pick para kay Demon. Kumbaga, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, di ba, na he's kind of like the sleeping giant in a lot of his games these past few weeks na once you hit the later parts of the mid-game to late game, doon na siya nagpa-pop off. But with this Ezreal pick, even he doesn't really have to wait as long because andun pa rin yung poke potential niya going into fights. He still has that value. Doesn't necessarily have to kind of sleep his way through waiting for his optimal spike here. Nakita naman natin laki ng value na nadadala niya just by being able to poke through that team fight earlier, which led to a heavy favor towards TNC. And nagre-reflect na talaga siya as far as standing right now, 2-0-3 on this area. Not a bad place to be in kung ikukumpara mo sa counterpart ng si Hate na not the best start, 0-2-1 on Caitlyn.
And not just from the Caitlyn itself, they are quite even in CS, but yes, the kill, the kleptomancy on this Ezreal is something that you need to take note of. And seeing how what items have been completed, Hate was really going for that split push.
Yeah.
He was really going for a powerful push, rushing that shift, not for the edge, for that extra space of damage onto Ezreal, but at least for IPT, they had a really good start in a way. They were pressuring TNC, but TNC pushed them back now. Now we're seeing sort of a standstill.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like TNC will be taking second dragon of the game. So, kahit nakikita natin yung advantage ng TNC in terms of kills, in terms of dragon takes, still, goal difference, hindi pa rin masyadong, actually, it's pretty much still even. It's not even much of a difference.
What the IPT doing right now, as of now, with their composition is that they have Suzaku on the side, and Right now, we're seeing Echo, which is known for really clearing the waves effectively. I mean, powerful wave clear, they have it. And Echo has the face dive to really chunk those turrets down. So, who knows? We may just see Imperium Pro Team just pressuring the side lanes, make things more convenient for them to roam around the map.
Yes.
Because for TNC, they have a lot of lockdowns. They are so quick to respond, and Imperium Pro Team, they're respecting this.
And that's kind of the tricky part right here. Even though IPT, they have a lot of initiation tools here, just because of the general nature ng composition ng TNC, there's a lot of ways na, gaya ng sinasabi ko, they could play around the terrain of these team fights. Na kahit magkaroon ng magandang initiate, just kind of cancel that out, slow things down with the Cataclysm, with the Hextech Ultimatum, with the Weaver's Wall to manage things. So, it could still go either way. I think IPT, they just need to be a little bit smarter with how they pull the trigger with the composition that they have. And I have no doubt this is IPT we're talking about. They have a lot of that potentially working for them. And of course, it does depend on how the next few minutes of this game goes. So, tingnan pa rin natin. It's still early to tell. And Baron is almost up. So, this could be a potential objective for contention.
And this is why TNC, they're pressuring the bot lane right now because they know Suzuku is alone. He can't get escape here, locked down by the Camille. Next stop could be Burst. They're really chunking down Suzuku, but a lot of resources was spent, and Suzuku tries to engage back onto Icarus, but he's aiming for Orthros. Orthros does flash away from the Glacial Prison. Members of Imperium Pro Team, 4 members actually, respond quickly to Suzuku's aid.
Not bad, TNC with the sweet escape amidst yung proactivity ng Imperium Pro Team dito. But overall, let's go ahead and see how this goes down with TNC kind of dispersed to make a little bit of a retreat muna. That does give the upper hand to IPT to start establishing yung control nila dito sa Baron side.
And for when it comes to control, yeah, you want to take control of the Baron pit, but seeing how Hate and see Shadow, they're in the mid lane, and that's a Caitlyn. Just lay those traps there, you can easily see it. You don't need to let the enemies close in on you. At this point, I think Imperium Pro Team, they're trying to buy time to scale, but it's also going to be TNC. This is how they love playing. They love how to play the game, give Demon all the resources, and let him carry the game. But Imperium Pro Team, they're trying to counter this because they're pressuring all the lanes right now, limiting where Demon can be.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing a slowdown in terms of takedowns here, but then again, a lot of it is attributed to the fact as to how both teams, kung gaano silang kagaling rumisponde amidst potential initiations, amidst potential proactivity na gagaling from either side. Kaya we see a lot of action, pero hindi siya necessarily nag-lead into casualties or potential trades for either side. Kumbaga, it's a little bit more on a smaller scale na small victories include yung gaya nga nang nangyari kanina sa bot lane, naka-dibs on Imperium Pro Team sa control habang nag-retreat from TNC. So, looks like gaya na nakita natin position-wise on the map, we are seeing a little bit of lingering towards this Baron side, looking out for each other. Bot lane naman, Icarus and Suzuku, as usual from what games we have been mostly seeing, nagkakaroon ng split dito sa bot lane.
It's working what Imperium Pro Team is doing so that, you know, we always say it, but we always see it in TNC's game that they will be the ones to try buy time Demon to scale. They will be the ones to really crush the lanes. And what will Demon do in that time? Just farm in the bot lane, but that's gone right now. So for Imperium Pro Team, they really want to try and close up this game quickly.
Yeah, that's the positive here with Imperium Pro Team being able to push out yung first tier turrets ng maaga. Limited yung opportunity ni Demon na mag-farm, and that's a little bit of alleviation considering that he is running the Kleptomancy, kaya kumbaga mas easy technically yung magiging build-up ni Demon dito as far as building items. And nagre-reflect naman siya sa kung ano yung nabili niya so far. Already has the Muramana as well as yung Trinity Force completed. Meanwhile, Hate as well has been able to keep up substantially with the small CS lead that he has on the skate lane, and is able to match that by having 2 items completed for himself as well.
I mean, the Static Shift Rush just goes to show that he was going for the push, but now he has the IE. So what does this mean? More powerful wave clear. You did see that when the wave minions are really walking in a line, they're just asking to be shot and crit by the ship. But here comes Pickup coming in from the top lane side. Haze does manage to shove them away, but will not escape with his life. Light still has to chrono break. He goes back in time, regenerates his health. Now it's time for Imperial Pro Team to try and lock them down. Slugful gets locked down by first 2 members inside the Cataclysm. A Demon on the side dealing lots of damage, kiting in and out, but Hate manages to take down first. Now Demon left alone, he does shift away. Suzuku is dead, but for Hate, he won't commit to this fight. What's this? More of a standoff? No, it won't be for an equal trade of 2-for-2 trade, but in terms of value, what matters most is that all the money went to Demon.
Yes, and of course,
Oh, he has the ultimate. That is the ultimate. Oh, close call. The red buff regenerates him just a bit.
yes, close call there for Demon. Pero nakapanghinayang para sa TNC Pro Team dito kasi it could have gone much more better for them. Pero dahil nga maaga yung takedown kay Hayes, tingnan natin yung replay dito. So si Hayes, nahuli ng maaga ni Light and Ivalis, was able to get that early takedown. Pero take note of how this could have been better for TNC kung hindi maagang namatay si Hayes. Look at how clumped this team fight is. It's a pretty much of a tight space here na imagine if the Talia was in this fight. But looking at the elements right here, the salvaging part here is working with the terrain that they have to versus Cataclysm here. Nakapag-free hit si Demon from the backline. It's just that at this point, with Demon hitting from the backline, so was Hate as well as far as kung sino yung accessible sa front line ng TNC. So either way, just pretty much went balanced. But overall, I would say, wow, that is going to be TNC taking the Baron.
Wow, that's pretty quick. With haste, the TNC takes the Baron uncontested. And with that, the map seems a bit in favor for TNC, but for Imperium Pro Team, they won't let that Baron buff scare them away. They're really running it down mid as of now.
I'm wondering what prompted TNC to have been able to go for that take on the Baron. But nonetheless, tingnan natin as IPT.
Icarus got stunned by the Parallel Convergence. He does get the ultimatum onto Ivalis, and it will be Demon to snipe him from afar. He's a stop, and that's going to be his double kill. And with no form of escape, that's going to be the sweet triple.
Yes, even with IPT going for the siege in the mid lane.
They were really challenging the
Yeah.
lockdown of TNC right there, but here comes TNC running it down mid in return.
Yes, and of course, nasa kanila yung Baron buff. But even without the wave with them just yet, they don't give a care in the world. The numbers are working for them. Burst taking quite a bit of damage, but looks like they will succeed in their siege.
Immediately opening up the map in their favor. Oh, the Ocean Drake is live right now, so they may eye it and take it away.
Grabe yung pag-pop off ni Demon sa game na to. Sitting
Oh, yeah, the
7-0-4 on this Ezreal. Tsaka, we can't just
Uh-oh.
pick it. Oh no, hate! Oh!
Ooh, heart. What a mini heart attack.
That was pretty close for hate right there. Luckily, nakapag-recall siya. Pero ito yung sinasabi ko na aside from Demon, oo, he is performing this fight. Pero kailangan mo pa rin bigyan ng credit na it's a team effort coming in from TNC. Gaya nga ng sinasabi ko, because of TNC's composition, everybody is doing what they should be para makapag-free hit tong si Demon from wherever he is. So, really well played here, I gotta
Of course, it is a team effort, and we're looking at the replay right now on how that happened.
say. Yes, so ito nga yung team fight na nakita natin dito sa mid lane. Medyo plump dito yung Imperium Pro Team. So, Icarus initiating keeping members at bay with the Hextech ultimatum, and ang sakit ng damage na na-conquer dito ni Ivalis, just tanking a lot of turret shots. And gaya nga ng sinasabi ko,
The
TNC
lockdown.
working with the lockdown that they have, using the natural tools that they have with their composition. So very, very well played out here. And gaya nga ng sinabi ko, if TNC can execute with the composition that they have, it's gonna work wonders for them. And sa nakikita natin so far, they are executing, they are living up to win conditions. Very well played.
They are really not letting Imperial Pro Team run away, because you saw the ultimatum lockdown of the light, but it will be Imperial Pro Team trying to force the fight when their cooldowns are there, but that's going to be very difficult because we're seeing Burst, si Icarus rather, is actually pushing out the lanes here. And I don't think it's going to last that long, because we're seeing the members of TNC, especially the bot lane, they were already spotted in the mid lane with Burst. It's going to be very difficult in a way that for Imperium Pro Team to try and fend them off.
I just gotta give my kudos to TNC here. But one of the frustrations here for me for Imperium Pro Team is hindi natin nakikita nasusulit ni Suzaku itong Sion pick with the unstoppable onslaught to potentially turn things in their favor. I think I also gotta attribute to the fact of dahil siguro rin sa draft ng TNC, but also every time Suzaku tries to go for an unstoppable onslaught play, doesn't really work out. But let's go ahead and check out what's happening here dito sa top side and sa bot side.
A bit of a duel.
Yeah.
At this point, it's going to be difficult for Suzaku to try and duel Icarus because he has to try for his, may go for the Titanic Hydra. So it's going to be TNC right now on the edge here with the advantage. They have a lot of push, but Haze, okay, that's the lockdown. They responded with the prison, but won't connect onto any members. They're really forcing themselves in, focusing onto Demon. Light is kind of low. He does reset back with the Chrono Break. Meanwhile, hey, look at the damage he is dealing. A monster. He just took down the Jana without any effort because Orthodox was trying to defend his ADC, but that is actually a Caitlyn you're dealing with.
Yes, that will be a little bit of a takedown coming in from TNC Pro Team. At dahil dyan, medyo kailangan nila mag-step back. Unfortunately, wala sila masyadong nakuhang value as far as that siege happened. And sa nakikita nga natin, buhay pa yung second tier turret dito sa top side amidst yung proactive siege ng TNC sa top lane. So, kind of unfortunate, but of course for Imperium Pro Team, all the time that they need to potentially try to get back online.
The next Drake is the Ocean Drake. We're nearing our 30-minute mark. Kill score is 6-11. Third score in favor of TNC because they got the Rift Herald and now they got the first Baron buff. Let's see, where will the second Baron buff fall?
Yes, I look at the itemization for IPT right now. I love the proactive move na both si Suzaku and Ivalice went for the adaptive helm. Would help deal with yung spam ng abilities coming in from both Haze and Demon, which are really painful as of the moment. So, this is what I'm saying right here now. May magandang lead ang TNC, but okay, let's see what happens here.
Can he escape here? He does face dive over that wall, but it's going to be Icarus to really lock him down with that Hex Day ultimatum. So, the lockdown succeeds. They take down Light. One member down for the count.
Man, that was a great collapse coming in from both Icarus tsaka itong si Haze. So, with Light down, tignan natin kung anong oportunidad ang kayang makuha dito ng TNC as far as getting value of IPT missing out on their mid laner within these next few seconds.
So, without any more, the one member, the mid laner is gone. TNC, they're invading the space of Imperial Pro Team. The prison does miss, but there is the lockdown again for TNC. Monsoon resets the fight for now. They regenerate and still healthy. They're pushing on. They're really pushing Imperial Pro Team to the fountain.
Yes, sinusulit na lang yung fact na wala si Fight dyan sa pag-defend ng inhibitor turret nila. Mukhang online na sila. Tingnan natin, mukhang atras muna ng TNC. Good call. They don't want to try to push that too much, especially after exhausting a lot of resources. Namely, Cataclysm is down for burst. Kaya ito yung sinasabi ko na you can't really control these team fights without those key elements right there.
And the next Drake is the Ocean Drake. 40 seconds left for the respawn timer and for the Baron buff. It's going to pop up soon. It will be 15 seconds till the next Baron. This is going to be exciting, and I'm really looking forward to see how it's going to turn out here. But for TNC, they will try and prepare for the Baron.
Yes, Imperium Pro Team. Ang kailangan nilang nang gawin, they need to find those moments of opportunity. They need to, in a way, try to find a way to exhaust yung key skills, key abilities ng TNC Pro Team, which actively allows them to not only zone out potential members but also keep Demon at bay. Kasi nakita natin, once TNC gets that proper set, Demon just freely hits from that backline. It's because of all that hold potential that TNC has to make sure that IPT is labas pwede makapasok, but tingnan natin.
Going big, and he does get the damage onto Haze. He will not escape. He does get the double lockdown treatment from Imperial Pro Team, but they immediately respond back with their own lockdown. Look at Demon, free hitting from the side, and the flag coming from Icarus with another lockdown. They're not escaping.
Man, that ends, ladies and gentlemen, in a 4-0. That was a 4-0.
My God. I have to say the lockdown from TNC with their lineup is really making it difficult for IPT to escape.
Yes, IPT, they wanted to try to get Haze there, but in the nick of time, I think sinasabi ko na you might commit a lot, but then again, because of the tools that TNC has with the competition,
this is
crazy.
Difficult. Can they defend the incoming waves? 9 seconds left on Light's death timer. Oh boy, they're not waiting for it anymore. They're really rushing the turrets, but look at Burst, he's kind of low on health. Ivalice is here. They will try and defend, but it will not happen. Looks like TNC Pro Team, everyone, will take away Game 1.
Very well played indeed. Hashtag TNC win.
What a game it was because of the composition from TNC, the lockdown, the Camille, the Jarvan, not to mention that Jana was there to really fling away the Sion, and not to mention the Sejuani.
It's not just the composition. Kumbaga, with that composition, you have to be able to execute properly to work around those team fights. At TNC was on the mark right there. IPT was definitely a bit shaky in that game, but I don't know, we'll just have to see. I'm interested in seeing kung ano adjustments ang gagawin ng Imperium Pro Team going into Game 2 because TNC, amidst that unfortunate game with Mineski last week, clearly not letting that get to them. In fact, looks like we are seeing a little bit of not letting that phase them out. Pero at the same time, I like how, I'm not sure if this was something that we proactively did during the week, pero a lot of their composition was so well thought out to deal with whatever IPT could have done to utilize Suzaku on that Sion. So I'm not sure if it's just if they did their homework or if it's just something that they proactively did given the composition that they had, regardless of knowing what to do to deal with Sion.
We did see all of those, planning, those strategies, the mentality when we saw the execution onto Game 1, but we still have more games to look forward to because when it comes to Imperium Pro Team, they're not having a good time as of now in the previous run, but it's not yet over. Note that this is actually a best of 3 series.
Yeah. There's still, gaya ng sinasabi ko, I'm interested in seeing what IPT will do to help change the course of this match. If they could turn the tides back into their favor. And before we go ahead and see that, once again, if you don't mind, Volk, I'd like to invite everyone once again sa bukas sa Glorieta Makati Cinema 6 sa ating LOL Varsity League Grand Finals. So, tickets are still currently on sale sa Glorieta mismo for 150 pesos. But let's go ahead and check out the standings so far sa kung ano yung nag-transpire. So, looking at the standings right here, this definitely makes a good move here for TNC. So, they're currently even with Team Manila Eagles. So things might be good for them if they could sway this match all the way, hopefully climb back to give them a better spot in the playoffs.
So we did see the results from the standings of our first game, and yeah, thank you for plugging in the LVL finals, which is tomorrow at Glorieta 4 Cinema 6. So check out the Garena LOL Collegiate page right there to first or to get an idea what the LVL is all about and maybe witness the first finals tomorrow. But I think when it comes to the continuation of the game, we have some announcement to make.
Okay, so yes, we did just get word that unfortunately, gaya nga nang nakita ng iba nating summoners, as early as match 1, nagkakaroon tayo ng technical difficulties with the network. It was actually evident since yesterday pa. So, syempre, given yung pinaghirapan ng players natin, we want to protect the competitive integrity ng Bacchus Pro Gaming Series. Kaya, for the meantime, for the sake na we have fair results throughout the rest of the games, mukhang i-hold muna natin yung games natin for today. So, itutuloy na lang actually natin yung mga laro this coming Thursday. So, ayan mga summoners. So, alam kong medyo marami sa inyong excited na malaman yung conclusion nitong IPT versus TNC match. Pero syempre, we want to take into account yung pinaghirapan ng players natin, yung fairness ng mga games. So, just to make sure na hindi nakaka-apekto yung network issues natin, i-hold muna natin yung match for now to Thursday until such time na maging mas maayos yung grounds that both teams can compete in.
And if you want more information on this update or to know what's going on Thursday, check out the Garena Pro Gaming Series Facebook page. We will post our announcements there. And for the summoners who are rooting for TNC and IPT, stay tuned on Thursday. But for now, this is me, Vulcan, and this is Arctic. We will be signing off and see you next week for the rematch, or rather the reschedule of for our second game in match 2.
Yes.
But also stay tuned for the week 7 of the PGS for Friday and Saturday. See you there, summoners. The Prism won't connect, but I think Burst will engage onto this. Joining him would be Hayes with his Talia. Now Ivalis gets the ult. He will not survive that long, and Kuros goes in for the flag. First blood secured by Hayes.
Yes, indeed.
Hindi matapos to, si Sulako, he goes in with the unstoppable onslaught, does not knock up anyone, times the Q, Hayes does flash away, he survives for now, but meanwhile Light he is pressuring Icarus, trying to zone him out, and first re-engages the fight, he knows this, he can, there's the Monsoon for the heal, but Light goes in with the convergence for that two-man stock, focusing there, he goes back with the Chrono Bait, it'll be Imperium Pro Team backing off.
Yowza, that was...
By the kid, but here comes pickup coming in from the top lane side. Hayes does manage to shove them away, but will not escape with his life. Light still has the Chrono Break. He goes back in time, regenerates his health. Now it's time for Imperial Pro Team to try and lock them down. Sluggo gets locked down by first two members inside the Cataclysm, a demon on the side, dealing lots of damage, kind of in and out, but Hayes manages to take down first. Now Demon left alone, he does shift away. Suko is dead, but for Hayes, he won't
Natin as IPT.
Icarus got stunned by the power convergence. He does get the ultimatum onto Ivan, and it will be Demon to snipe him from afar. He's unstoppable. That's going to be his double kill, and with no form of escape, that's going to be the sweep. But going big, and he does get the damage onto Hayes. He will not escape. He does get the double lockdown treatment from Imperium Pro Team, but they immediately respond back with their own lockdown. Look at Demon free hitting from the sides, and the flag coming from Icarus with another lockdown. They're not escaping.
And oh man, that ends, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy, they're not waiting for it anymore. They're really rushing the turrets, but look at Burst. He's kind of low on health. Ivalis is here. They will try and defend, but it will not happen. Looks like TNC Pro Team, everyone, will take away game one.
Very well played indeed.